Welcome to U.S. Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Russia's foreign minister will visit North Korea amid claims of weapons supplied to Moscow. Martti Ah, former Finnish president and Nobel Peace Prize winner, dies at 86. KKR makes binding offer to buy Telecom Italia fixed-line network. Why Powell and Pressburger's weird, confounding films are perfect for our times. What NCAA President Charlie Baker needs to tell Congress, College Football Inquirer. Russia's foreign minister will visit North Korea amid claims of weapons supplied to Moscow. The Toronto Star. Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, will be visiting North Korea this week, despite recent accusations from the US that Pyongyang has been sending munitions and military equipment to Russia for use in the fighting in Ukraine. The US claims that over 1,000 containers of equipment and ammunition have been sent to Russia from North Korea. The visit comes after North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, visited Russia last month to meet President Putin and visit key military sites. The US believes that Kim is seeking sophisticated Russian weapons technologies in return for the munitions. Martti Ah, former Finnish president and Nobel Peace Prize winner, dies at 86. The Toronto Star. Martti Ah, former president of Finland and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, has died at the age of 86. Ah was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2008 for his work in resolving international conflicts. He played a key role in peace accords in Kosovo, Namibia, and Aceh province in Indonesia. Ah also contributed to the Northern Ireland peace process. In 1994, he became Finland's president for one 6-year term and later established the Crisis Management Initiative, a foundation aimed at preventing and resolving violent conflicts. KKR makes binding offer to buy Telecom Italia fixed-line network. Bloomberg. Private equity firm KKR has made a binding offer to acquire Telecom Italia's phone network as the company seeks to reduce its debt of over €30 billion, $32 billion. KKR has valued the network at up to €23 billion, although Telecom Italia's largest shareholder Vivendi has indicated it will not accept any offer below €30 billion. Italy's finance ministry plans to take up to a 20% stake in the grid unit for up to €2.5 billion. Telecom Italia CEO Pietro Labriola said the sale would be a milestone for the company and the first such move by any European telecoms group. Why Powell and Pressburger's weird, confounding films are perfect for our times. The Guardian. The British Film Institute, BFI, is hosting a retrospective of the work of filmmaking duo Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, known as the Archers. The retrospective includes recognized classics such as The Red Shoes and Black Narcissus, along with lesser-known films like The Boy Who Turned Yellow. The films are described by the BFI as quintessentially British, although interpretations of what this means may vary. The Archers' work explores questions of national identity and fascist ideology, and is subversive, morally complex, and frequently weird. While their films are patriotic and soul-stirring, they are also gently conservative and challenge viewers to think about who they are and where they stand. The BFI retrospective offers an opportunity to revisit the Archers' work and appreciate their relevance in today's divided era. The Archers' films were once seen as old-fashioned and colonial, and the duo fell out of fashion. However, their work is now considered more humane and progressive, even radical, in a time when division, hatred, and fear dominate public discourse. The films reject bigotry, treat people with decency, and seek to find connections in a world that is often divided. The Archers' focus on tradition, continuity, and social responsibility resonates in a post-Brexit world. The BFI retrospective allows viewers to reflect on the enduring relevance of the Archers' films and how they can speak to our current society. Overall, the Archers' films are described as patriotic, soul-stirring, and gently conservative, challenging viewers to think about who they are and where they stand. The BFI retrospective offers an opportunity to appreciate the relevance of the Archers' work in today's divided era, as they reject division, hatred, and fear and instead seek to find connections and treat people with decency. What NCAA President Charlie Baker needs to tell Congress, College Football Inquirer. Yahoo! The NCAA should drop cases against college football coaches, such as Michigan's Jim Harbaugh, instead of spending resources on trying to enforce selective rules, according to Yahoo Sports reporter Dan Wetzel. Wetzel argued that the NCAA's credibility is damaged by what appears to be inconsistent enforcement of its own rules. He suggested that NCAA President Mark Emmert should acknowledge the problem and work to reboot the system. Who is the best team in the NFL after Week 6? Sunday Night Blitz. Yahoo! Jason Fitz and Frank Schwab recap the Week 6 NFL games, discussing the Buffalo Bills' victory over the New York Giants, the first losses for the San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles, and the Baltimore Ravens win over the Tennessee Titans. They also highlight impressive performances by the Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, and Miami Dolphins, and express disappointment with the Atlanta Falcons, Indianapolis Colts, and New England Patriots. The duo debates which team is currently the best in the NFL and previews the Monday Night Football game between the Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Chargers. Sickened Biden condemns hate crime killing of Palestinian boy in Chicago. The Independent. U.S. President Joe Biden has condemned the murder of a 6-year-old Palestinian boy in Chicago, which police say was a hate crime linked to the Israel-Hamas war. Wadia Al-Fayyoum was stabbed 26 times at his home, while his mother was stabbed at least 12 times but survived. Police have arrested 71-year-old Joseph Chuba and charged him with murder. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden said they were shocked and sickened by the alleged hate crime and called for the rejection of Islamophobia and all forms of bigotry and hatred. Qatar to return 3 Ukrainian children from Russia after repatriation talks. Reuters. 3 Ukrainian children who were taken to Russia are set to be released to Qatari diplomats in Moscow this week. Qatar facilitated the return of another Ukrainian child aged 7, who was reunited with his grandmother and is on his way to Ukraine via Estonia. Qatar has established a mechanism to return children from Russia to Ukraine, and the return of these 4 children is the first test of this system. Kiev has identified 20,000 children who were taken to Russia or Russian-held territory without the consent of their families. Around 400 children have been returned to Ukraine since the Russian invasion began in February 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Sixers, and all the beings of the six-degree world, I am your Six Doctor, here to bring you the latest news from across the dimensions. Today, we have a diverse range of stories, from international politics to film retrospectives, sports, and tragic events. So, let's dive in. First up, Russia's foreign minister is visiting North Korea amidst accusations of weapons being supplied from Pyongyang to Moscow. It seems like a complicated game of international politics, with the US claiming that North Korea has been sending munitions and military equipment to Russia in exchange for sophisticated weapons technologies. Who knew diplomacy could be so exciting? Moving on, we have the sad news of the passing of Martti Ah, the former Finnish president and Nobel Peace Prize winner. Ahtisaari played a crucial role in resolving international conflicts, from Kosovo to Northern Ireland. His work will be remembered as he leaves behind a legacy of peace. In the business world, private equity firm KKR has made a binding offer to buy Telecom Italia's phone network. It seems like a strategy to reduce the company's hefty debt, but there's some disagreement on the valuation. Let's hope they can reach a compromise and make this deal happen. Now, let's take a trip to the world of cinema. The British Film Institute is hosting a retrospective of the work of filmmaking duo Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, known as the Archers. Their films are described as quintessentially British, exploring questions of national identity and fascist ideology. They may be old-fashioned, but their relevance in today's divided era cannot be denied. It's a chance to reflect on their work and appreciate their enduring message. Shifting gears to sports, Yahoo Sports reporter Dan Wetzel suggests that the NCAA should drop cases against college football coaches and focus on more important matters. He argues that inconsistent enforcement of rules damages the NCAA's credibility. Perhaps it's time for a system reboot, as Wetzel suggests. In the world of NFL, Jason Fitz and Frank Schwab recap the Week 6 games, discussing impressive performances and disappointing losses. They also debate which team is currently the best in the league. It's always fun to join the discussion and cheer for our favorite teams. On a more somber note, U.S. President Joe Biden condemns the hate crime killing of a Palestinian boy in Chicago. The incident is believed to be linked to the Israel-Hamas war, and it's a tragic reminder of the consequences of hatred and bigotry. Let's hope for a world where such incidents become a thing of the past. Lastly, we have some positive news. Qatar is set to return 3 Ukrainian children from Russia after successful repatriation talks. This is a significant step in the ongoing effort to reunite children with their families, who were separated during the Russian invasion. It's heartening to see progress being made in such challenging circumstances. And that brings us to the end of today's news roundup. Remember, Sixers, the world is a complex and diverse place, full of both joy and sorrow. Let's continue to engage in thoughtful discussions and strive for a better future. Now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on these stories? Do you have any questions or opinions to share? The Sixth Doctor is here to listen and entertain your ideas. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the Sixth Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.